Hey everyone, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year. This is video 315. Thanks so much for being here. Hope you had a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter. And we are on day number 9 of Rhonda Byrne's Countdown to Riches, 21 Days of Wealth Attracting Habits. So we are on day 9, which is gratitude multiplies money. We know this, don't we? Have you heard the saying, if you love the process, the outcome will follow? So I look at this as like the process, these different, modalities, these different techniques that we use to get into the state of having something. If we love that process, then the outcome is going to follow always. It always does. And they say you don't have to, like if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I like to stay ready all the time. So I just like to stay in the state as much as possible. And that's our goal, is just to kind of get into the state of excitement. Excitement is my favorite state to be in. I love to feel excited. I feel excited for a lot of my day every day, but I had to train myself to do this, and you can too. You just have to stay in your passion and figure out, what is my passion? What gets me excited? What gets me feeling a little bit happier than other things do sometimes? What gets me really lit up? What lights me up? So think about that. What keeps me tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, like Esther Hicks says. So day 9 is gratitude multiplies money. And the quote for this one is by Christian Larson, who is an author. He said, be grateful for everything, and you will constantly receive more of everything. Thus, the simple act of being grateful becomes a path to perpetual increase. So we know about gratitude, how gratitude affects everything. It affects the cells of our body, keeps us healthy, and also, of course, creates a state of gratitude that we're living in. And if you're in a state of gratitude, you're only going to get good things coming to you and things that are relevant for you to learn from, of course. And that's a whole other, I can get into that a little bit later too, about where it's relevant for us. But this day, let's start here. Gratitude is the easiest, fastest way to change every single subject in your life, but especially the subject of money. When you feel gratitude for the money you have, no matter how little, you multiply that money. You can also multiply your money by feeling gratitude for money that you had or that was spent on you in your past. Gratitude quite simply multiplies everything it touches, and the more deeply you feel gratitude, the greater the multiplication. Gratitude is the easiest, fastest way to change your life. I love that, and it is so true. When we think about a lack of money in our life, we can fail to see how much money and abundance surround us and have surrounded us during your life. Today, we are going to look at the vast amount of money that you have actually received throughout your life. And by doing this practice and focusing on the abundance in your past, you're going to multiply your money today. Sit down and take a few minutes to think back through your childhood before you had any money or much money. Make a list of 20 instances where money was spent on you, which equates to money you received. As you travel back through the memories of your childhood and youth, you'll realize how many things you received and what an abundance of money you have actually already experienced in your life. So there's a bunch of questions on here. I won't read all of them, but did you always have food to eat? Did you live in a home? Did you go on any vacation? Did you receive an education over many years? Did you receive birthday gifts, bikes, toys, a pet, clothes, movies, play sports, go to the doctor, go to the dentist? The essential items that we need, like toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, and shampoo. Did you travel in a car? Did you have a television, make phone calls, or use lights, electricity, and water? If I could talk. So all of those equate to money that has been spent on us in the past. So, and you receive them at no charge, she said. Isn't that funny? As you travel back through memories of your childhood and youth, you'll realize what an abundance of money you have received in your life. Be grateful for every single instance and memory, because when you can feel sincere gratitude for the money you've received in the past, your money will magically increase now and in the future. When doing this practice, you should feel your heart soften and maybe even have tears in your eyes, and that is when you know you hit the jackpot with your deep gratitude. From this day forward, make a promise to yourself that whenever you receive any money, whether it's your salary for work, a refund or discount, or something that someone gives you that costs money, you'll be truly grateful for it. Each of these circumstances means that you have received money, and each instance gives you an opportunity to use gratitude's power to increase and multiply your money even more by being grateful for the money you've just received. To finish this practice, take a dollar bill or another denomination bill and write on a Post-it that you place on the bill, "Thank you for all the money I've received throughout my life." And then take it and put it in your wallet, purse, or pocket, and at least once in the morning and once in the afternoon, or as many times as you want, take it out and hold the magic dollar bill in your hands. Read your written words and be truly grateful for the abundance of money you've been given in your life. It's called a magic dollar bill because nothing else will magically manifest money faster than gratitude. The more sincere you are and the more you feel it, the faster you will see your money multiply. So you say, "Thank you for all the money I've received throughout my life." I really, really love that. I think that we just get into this scarcity mindset a lot where we focus on not having enough, and then that makes us scared. And then we're living in a state of fear and survival for years, some of us. I've done that before as well. And I still go in and out of that sometimes. So I have to really train myself to stay in the awareness of abundance. And it does take practice, because if you grew up in survival and, say, a dangerous household or a place where you didn't feel safe, then your nervous system got tuned to that. And so your body remembers what that felt like. So it's really easy when you get a trigger of some sort that your body's like, "Oh my God, we've got to tense up and survive." And so then it's hard to do long-term planning and have, a budget and all these things. It's just like we've got to get into the state of abundance and recognize that, hey, you've got enough oxygen to breathe. That's where we start. You just start at the very bottom, and most important actually is that we have air to breathe. And then look around at what you already have and say thank you to everything. That's one of my favorite practices. It's helped a lot of people that I've talked to. And so, and saying thank you for things you've received in the past. I really like this exercise about looking at your past and noticing how much money has been spent on you, and then how much money you have spent on yourself over the years too, and add all that up. I added up, if it's right, I did this once where I looked back at all the courses, the schooling I've been through, the workshops, the trainings, all those things. It was like 300 grand over the last, 20 years or so, maybe more than that. So, and that's valuable, and that is a huge part of what I know today is all the money that I spent and all the time that I've spent too. So always look back at, this is when you want to look back. You don't want to look back too much because you want to stay very present, but just look back at all the money that's been spent on you and add that up and see if that makes you feel more abundant versus being in scarcity. So really check your thoughts for lack, I don't have enough, comparing yourself to other people who have more than you. That's another thing that I think a lot of people do. They notice what they don't have versus what they do have. So it's that subtle shift in awareness and getting into the identity of, hey, I've already got this. I've already got this. And if I had this, how would I behave? How would I think, feel, and behave? Because if we don't have something, we're going to behave differently than if we did have it. So really think about that. It's pretty logical. This stuff is really logical and simple. We just put a lot of emotion into it, which is great if we're doing it in the more constructive way towards directing it where we want versus, just letting it kind of sit in lack mode, I guess we'll call it. So, but yeah, I'm going to probably tomorrow, or I don't know when, I'll see what works best with tomorrow's practice. But I watched a couple of videos today that I took some notes on as usual. So I'm going to incorporate some of those in there. But I think that's about it for today though. Today was going to be a little shorter than usual, but yes, say thank you for all the money coming into my life. That was the main thing I think I wanted to get through. Thank you for all the money that has come into my life and the money that's coming into my life, currently and future tense. So just focus on abundance as much as possible. Remember that you're already rich if you can breathe. As long as you can breathe, you got this. So count your blessings every single day, radiate that energy out, and you will see a huge change in your entire life by just focusing on something else versus what you normally focus on to get you in that state. It's all about that state that we're trying to create. And then let that go. Like Bashar says, to visualize something and then completely like act as if you already have it. Like this is a visualization that you'll act as if you already have this money that you want, let's say. And then you, as soon as you get into the state of excitement, you drop the picture completely and you surrender it over to the higher mind, because the higher mind does not have a ceiling like our brain does. Our brain's like, that's about all I can think of. I can't see past this. So the higher mind's like, oh, it has no ceiling. So it can take it and run with it and bring it to you in the most relevant, synchronistic way that's perfect for you. And our brain doesn't know what that is. So yeah, just get excited. Try to practice getting excited. Think about things that excite you. And maybe go back, like this suggested, go back in childhood. And if it makes you feel okay to do that, this could bring up memories, so if you don't want to bring up old memories, that's cool. Maybe we skip today and we wait till tomorrow. But maybe look at maybe the last year that you've bought yourself some things and add that up and be like, wow, I did really well. Or maybe you're realizing, hey, I need to spend some money on myself for self-care. That's really big. A lot of people don't spend money on themselves and they don't engage in self-care because for a lot of reasons. That's a whole video right there. It's guilt, it's shame, it's we don't have enough. I couldn't do that. I'm going to spend that money on my kids or my spouse or someone else. So remember to take care of yourself too, because you deserve to take care of yourself so you can, overflow instead of pouring from an empty or half full cup. You want to overflow into people. And that's my goal. It's like, I want to become the best I can be and have the most overflowing cup, not just a full cup, overflowing cup, so that I can just give as much as possible. What you got to give it to yourself first. It starts at home first. And home is in your body. You got to start with you first. So I'll let you guys go today. I'm getting tired if you can't tell. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm tired today. So I'm going to go to bed early. And I got a big week, so as I'm sure you all do as well. So I hope you get your week started off right. And remember to wake up tomorrow with an intention. I'm going to have a great day today, and decide how you want to feel. I want to feel excited and at peace today. What do I need to think today in order to feel that way? And then just roll with it and start your week off right like that and see what happens. And just enjoy your day as much as possible. I'll be back tomorrow night. Remember, you are so loved, and remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates, and I will see you later. Bye.